हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव बोलिए गोकुल कृष्ण भगवान की जय। ओ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोषममं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः. In the first adhyaya or chapter, we saw the despondency of Sri Rama, the disciple here, the student. In the second chapter, it was the addressed by Vishwamitra, and he said, bondage is when felt alone, freedom is sought after, and it is reduction of the vasanas that is said to be the liberation. Therefore, it's a gradual process and not a sudden happening. Freedom is always something which you discover by self-effort. If it is given to you by someone, it can be taken away by the same person. When it is self-discovered, slowly and steadily, obviously you realize it is your own and it was there and I have forgotten to look at it. So in the second chapter, it was about the freedom that is to be claimed by ourselves, which is by reducing the intense impressions created by us over many, many lives within ourselves. And in the third chapter, which began yesterday, we saw Vasistha is continuing his advice to Rama here. You understand what is bondage. Now, let me tell you the nature of freedom. Yeah, jnāsyasi svam asamshayam. When you know this, here is where the philosophical discussion starts. In the Vedic literature, what we find, the idea of freedom is discussed only in the Upanishadic portion. Until then, it was rituals, acquiring of merits, and going to heaven. All that is discussed in various ways, in voluminous amount of discussions were there. Upanishad, on the other hand, doesn't concern about merits, rituals, etc. Those things are not the subject matter of Upanishad. And Upanishads, therefore, are meant for those people who are done with these things. And that is the reason why in the Hindu culture, when you ask a priest, one who is doing rituals in a temple, he doesn't talk about Upanishad at all. Strangely, they chant it, even as a part of the rituals. But they really do not have the understanding of what it means. Because once you know the content of the Upanishad, you will stop all the rituals. In Kenopanishad also, it is very clearly said, Yat vacha abhyuditam enavag abhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam vidye nedam editam upasade. That which is not spoken cannot be spoken, and because of which everything speaking is possible. That is Brahman and not what you worship. So that will go contradictory to what they are doing. So the rituals, merits, and heavens, these are the things that they discuss in the major portion of the Vedic literature, but the Upanishads, Aranyaka it is called, that is meant for philosophical discussions. When a person is ready for philosophical discussion, he must have already seen the emptiness of the karma, rituals. Why it is so? That is why the discussion is about, because the rituals, heaven, everything belong to the perceived world. The world that we interact with, transact with. The perceived world itself is questioned. As we saw in the verse number 2 here, we read again, verse number 2, page number 38. Drashtur drishyasya sattahi bandha ityabhidhiyate drashta drishyavashat baddho drishyabhave vimuchyate. Bondage is giving reality to the duality between perceiver and the perceived, experiencer and the experienced. When I see something, when I hear something, then there is a hearer, seer, taster, smeller, toucher, thinker, all those things are there. Eater. Now, what is being experienced is the world. This reality to these two is the bondage. And somebody would say, my God, then how do we live? Drashtuhu drishyasya sattahi. Reality given to the seer and the seen, perceiver and the perceived. Bandha, that is bondage. Based upon this only, Shankaracharya wrote this text known as Drik Drishya Vivek. You might have come across Drik Drishya Vivek. Very interesting one. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik Trad Drishyam Draktumanasam. Rupam Drishyam, forms are seen. Lochanam Drik, eyes are the seer. So the seen is independent of the seer. Seen has reality so long as the seer is seeing it. The flower has reality only so long as this individual is seeing it. Have you ever seen your own back? Middle of your back? not seen. Even with a mirror, you cannot do that. But the reality of it is, only when you see it, you say it is there. So the seen is not independent. The seer gives reality to that seen thing. So that is why I say, okay, even if I have not gone to, let us say, somewhere in some part of the world, something is happening. I'm not seeing, I'm sitting here. But when I see it in the TV, I saw it there through the eyes of the cameraman. I saw it, therefore it is true. If somebody says, this is happening, I don't know whether it's happening, but I saw it, then it is reality. So only the seer gives reality to the seen. And the changes that are taking place in the seen, in the perceived object, does not really change the seer. Eyes are the same whether you're seeing blue color, red or white or green or yellow or any other color. And the seer has a choice to see or not to see. Right? To see the thing or not to see the thing. That's your choice. You close your eyes and I don't want to see it. In the absence of what is seen, the seer doesn't become absent. Let us say there is nothing to see. Doesn't mean the eyes are absent. The darkness where you can't see anything, but still, in the absence of everything, the eyes are still there. So, forms that are seen are not independent of the seer. The reality to the perception is given by the perceiver. Clear? Any doubt? Eyes are seen by what? The mind. The existence of the eyes are known by the mind. If the mind decides to not to see, even with the eyes open, you won't see it. Just like your wife is complaining so many things, but you keep the ears open, but you don't listen. ये करना है वो करना है आप तो रिटायर हो गए ना सो आपको ये करो वो करो. He has decided not to hear. Are you listening? Huh? What did you say? That he listens. So the mind decides whether the sense organ should engage in that perception at all or not. So mind is superior to these senses. Similarly, intellect is superior to the mind, because if intellectually you are convinced, even when the mind is seeing or eyes are seeing, not true. Just like blue sky. You see the blue sky. Mind is seeing through the eyes, the blue, but you know that is not true. How? Intellect. You go to Las Vegas, you see so many mirage, so many other things. I know it's not true. Why? The intellect has got a greater understanding of the reality than what the mind reports, what the sense organs report. So intellect is much more, but even the intellect is also known to something higher than that. In the deep meditation, when you withdraw even the intellectual analysis, mind is withdrawn, sense organs are withdrawn. I am. That is called drashta. That drashta, that seer, ultimate one, because of whom intellect is able to analyze, mind is able to feel, sense organs are able to perceive, because of which world is experienced. When the drashta is known, drashta natu drishyate, that drashta, that seer can never be seen. That ultimate seer within us is unseen but present. That is why he says, drishya abhave vimuchyate. When the entire various perceiving tools are removed, sense organs are perceived, eyes are perceiver. Eye becomes a perceived, mind becomes a perceiver. Mind is perceived, intellect becomes a perceiver. Intellect is perceived, the self is the perceiver. When the perception is all gone, intellect is gone, mind is gone, and the sense organs are also withdrawn, the perceiver loses to be a perceiver because there's nothing to perceive. What is he? He is free. He is independent of all this. Drashta natu drishyate. So drishya abhave, in the absence of all those things which are perceived, vimuchyate, one becomes free. Now, this freedom is not just non-perception, but not giving reality to perception. That is what is to be underlined here. Satta hi bandha. The reality that you give to the perception or the perceived object is the bondage. Why? Because once you perceive a thing and you think it is real, you get bound by that. That's why he says, Drushta drishyavashat baddha. When I see a thing and I give reality, it doesn't stop there. When I give reality to thing, immediately next step is, I like it, I don't like it. I want it, I don't want it. Based upon what? It will give me happiness or it will not give me happiness. So, mere perception alone is not a problem. Somebody wrote beautifully. Perception is not a problem. Conception is. You conceive immediately. Oh, it is nice. Oh, I want it. Oh, I would like to own it. I like to possess this. I want to enjoy it more. That is where the individual gets caught. Otherwise, a man who has enlightened cannot live in this world otherwise. Oh, moksha. Moksha means after you withdraw and reach the state of darsha and then disappear. Then there will not be any enlightened master will be there to tell us that it is possible. Because once they get enlightened, they disappear. Is that true? And then what's the proof that there is enlightenment possible? You want to get enlightened? Yes, die. And nobody would like that. So, it is not the perception by itself that is the bondage. It is the reality that we give to the perception leading to Shobhana Adhyas, the superimposition of likes, dislikes, joy, sorrow, want, I don't want, I want to own, I want to possess, all those things. But to obtain this confirmation of freedom, one has to practice withdrawal from the perceived world. That's meditation. It is to confirm that it is true that drishya abhave vimuchyate. In the absence of perception, there is freedom. That needs to be realized. That is the reason why in meditation, slowly withdraw the senses from the sense objects, then the mind from the sense organs, from the intellect, the mind, and intellect also goes. So this is the reason why one has to practice. That is a prayatna. Drishta drishyavashat baddha drishya abhave vimuchyate. Otherwise, what happens? Because if I'm caught by the world and get rid of the world, then I'll be free. For how long? Just like in dream, in the sleep. You are free. You enjoyed freedom in the deep sleep. Just know you have come out of it. Fresh. Happy. I slept very well, Swamiji, 8 hours. Freshly available. Forget bound again. The next 16 hours. Then again leave the whole thing and stay. Happily. Again come back. But so your sleep, the freedom that you enjoyed in sleep, or the bliss that you enjoyed in sleep, did not remain or has not remained for you to be free even now. Right? Because the moment we wake up, we are already again getting bound by the world. I want this, I do this, I want this, I want this, I want this. So this knowledge has to be confirmed. Yes. So in the absence of the world, I am free. And what happens is in sleep, even that freedom is experienced though in sleep, but confirmed only or recalled only on the time of waking up. I was free in the absence of the world. But can I be in the presence of the world? That is what the knowledge is about. Even when the world is present in front of you, if you don't give reality to that very world which you are transacting with, you will be free. बहुत कठिन है, very difficult, because our habit is drishyavasha, becomes controlled by what is perceived. So now you see, Jagat Tvam Ahamityadihi Mityatma Drishyamuchyate Yavadedat Sambhavati Tavan Moksho Na Vidyate. Tavat, as long as this is particular thing is there, moksha na vidyate, there is no liberation. As long as what exists? Jagat, the world, tvam, you, aham, I, adihi, all these, mityatma, illusory, drishyam, this is what is called perception, perceived. Uchyate. Yavad edat sambhavati. So long as long as this is there, tavat moksha na vidyate. Then there is no freedom. Meaning the division that we create, this is the world, and you are real, I am real, you are different from me, I am different from the world. This variety that we perceive given reality by us, what is Maya? That is, well, Tulsi Ramayana very beautifully says, you, me, hers, and his. This is what is called Maya. What is Maya then? You, yours, me, mine, his, hers. This is one. Huh? Tera mera, tera mera, mera tera, tera mera yehi. प्रभु की माया इससे कौन बच पाया. Yours, mine, mine, your, mine, your, mine. This is what is called Maya. The illusion is divisions created by confusion, perceptions. So here it says, the word Jagat, Gurudev used to say, Jagat is Jayati, Gachati, Tishtati. That which is born, that which disappears, in between there is something is there. That is called Jagat. Jagat, 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 Jagat. Keeps on changing. That is given reality. See, when you moment you give reality to something and it changes, you become miserable. In one condition it is there, you like it. Another condition you don't like it. Why misery then? You cannot stop the change, but you can stop to be miserable. But we cannot. Why? Because we want one condition and the condition changes. Oh, I don't like it. Understand, that is its nature. The weather constantly changes and says, oh, I don't think, it should not be very hot. If you think like that, you are foolish. Will the world decide whether to change or not based upon your opinion? So also people, so also your body. This is part of the world only. It's not different because it's born out of the world, sustained by the world, and then again goes back to the same material world only. So this will exactly behave like that outside weather. Because it is the same. It's made of the same thing. And mind is subtle aspect of that is also the same thing. It is a subtle matter, this is a gross matter. That is all the difference. The same nature of change is there in the world outside of matter, in this physical body, and the subtle nature of this mind also is the same thing. So, in one condition I am happy, another condition I am unhappy. That is the foolishness you created. Why? Because it is of that nature. What can you do? So, Jagat Aham Tvam Adibihi Mithyatma. That is what is called Drishyam, perceived. Yavadevat Sanbhavati. As long as it is there, Tavat Moksha na Vidyate. So long as this division is considered to be true, you will not be free. So this is the Swarupa of Moksha. Bondage, we understood. The nature of freedom is, so long as it is caught in the world of change, it can never be free. So freedom is our birthright, but from the birth, it is not right. From the birth onwards, we don't feel it. Birth itself is a part of the bondage. Then it's birthright, but it is not right from the birth. It's not true. Now, what is the nature of this world which you talked about? Continuing here, he says, Yadidam drishyate sarvam jagastavara jangamam tat sushupto iva swapnaha kalpante pravinashyati. Edidam drishyate sarvam ed. What that which is idam, this. What is this? Sarvam jagat. Stavara jangama, moving and unmoving. Stavara, unmoving, moving, jangama. Whatever you consider as this, adahamaham pyata vikyamanvaham ahamilina ke kalaya satya. Upadeshara says, see, the philosophy is to simplify, not to complicate. Especially masters simplify it as much as possible. There are only two things, aham and idam. I and this. These are the only two things that are there in this present world of ours. Whatever is referred as I, whatever it is, anything other than that is this. I came to this hall. What is aham in this context? I, the so and so Swami. This is what? The hall, including you. You are this to me. Idam. Every one of you, this audience, so this all of you are what? As far as I am concerned, you are part of the world. Idam, this. And then I have a back pain. This body, so much of pain. See? Now you moved from what? Referring to your own being as aham. Now, when I refer to this body as something terrible or painful, then immediately I shift this body also as idam. Idam sharinam parinama peshalam patatyavasyam jalajan jijarjaram kimaushadi klishyadi mooda durmade. In Mukundamala it says, this body, idam sharinam parinama peshalam patatyavasyam. This body is full of change. It one day dies. So the moment I consider this physical body as painful, immediately I shift my aham to deeper one. Me, the mind, intellect complex, which is now considering this body as this. Right? This body is painful. Some terrible news or something happened. Mind. The mind, this mind. So much trouble it gives. When the mind is seen independent of yourself and you as the perceiver of this mind and its thoughts, then mind has become idam. Then who's aham now? Who am I? Who is aham now? Aham is deeper than this mind, other than the mind. Manasam tu kim margane kride naiva manasam marga arjavat. So moment you move that idam to mind, aham further shifts to the subtle part. Clear? So when I come to the hall, I, the physical body, mind complex is aham, and the world is idam, all of you. When the body becomes painful, then body becomes idam, mind becomes aham. When the mind also becomes a source of my pain, then I shift aham to something else. And mind is also pain. Mind is also idam. The ego, that which is identifying entity, when I recognize that, that is also idam. Because of this ego which is appearing as soon as I wake up, because of which alone I am going through all these things, when this ego identifying entity is not there, I am free, independent like in sleep, then what happened? Aham is independent of this identifying ego. Idam is ego now, ahankar. When you reach there, you realize aham is a pure one. Beyond that, you cannot go. That awareness is aham. And idam is all false, subject to change. So that is why he says, Yadidam drishyate sarvam jagat. The jagat is not the word, jagat is anything that you refer as idam. Because it is jayade, gachade, drishyate, it is changing. Yadidam drishyate sarvam jagat stavara jangamam. Moving and unmoving, matter and spirit, whatever. Tat sushupto iva swapnaha kalpante parvinashyati. Kalpante parvinashyati. Tad, that sushupto iva, as in the deep sleep, swapnaha, it is seen to be like a dream. In the deep sleep, the dream is also not there. The dream is also disappeared. In the same way, kalpante, at the end of the kalpa, vinashyati, pravinashyati, everything goes away. That is what is called kalpa. Kalpanta, end, dissolution. So, the concept of creation in the world, in these scriptures are so many. Even in our own Hindu scriptures, also so many of them are there. But one should recognize that ultimately, only when we are awake, the world is true. Some people say, maybe you are not awake, but we are all awake. For us, the world is true. You go to sleep, Swamiji, but we are all awake to this world. So for us, the world is true. You might have gone to sleep. Yes, okay. So for individual I, when I go to sleep, this world is not there. Clear? You are there to see it. Fine. When all of us go to sleep, where is the world? What happens to the world? World means matter. What happens to the world when there is no perceiving consciousness? Or does the matter exist? Or can anybody prove its existence when all conscious beings go to the state of slumber? To whom is this world? To whom is this world? That is what is called dissolution. Pralayam. Prakarshena layam gacchati. Everybody has gone to sleep. When I lie down, it's called my laya. Individual's laya. But everybody has gone to the state of this laya sthiti, sleep. Then where is this world? To whom is this world? So the concept of the world and creation is consciousness becoming awake to the world of matter is creation. Consciousness withdraws in itself is called dissolution. So when is the world created? Now you see, this is explained very clearly in the next few verses, starting with how or what is the nature of dissolution of this world, philosophically looking at it. Tadasti ida gambiram na tejo na tamastatam anakyam anabivyaktam satkinchit avashishyate. Beautiful statements. Timida Gambiram. Wonderful statement that is. That a dominant stillness. When this world has dissolved, here it is not destruction, please. The word B is used very clearly. Dissolution, not destruction. The world is never destroyed, it's only dissolved. I solved the problem, you say, right? I destroyed the problem, you say? I have a problem. I'll destroy it. You say dissolve the problem. Let us say I have a misunderstanding with somebody else. And the third person comes, okay, let me resolve it. Meaning what? Make you realize that you also made a mistake, she also made a mistake, and let us understand that we are subject to making mistakes. And you, you accommodate that mistake, and you also accommodate mistake. Dissolved. Problem solved. Now you put X. You do know the math. My math problem is given. You do not know the answer. You put X. And apply various values for the X, and suddenly you find one particular value solves the problem. So it was not there. You don't know. That's all it is. So the moment you put that particular value to X, it's solved. There's no more mystery. I always ask this question to the children. A 7 question. It's a 7-letter word. Greater than God, worse than evil. A rich man wants it. Poor man has it. A dead man eats it. If you eat, you die. What is it? Greater than God, worse than evil. Poor man has it. Rich man wants it. Dead man eats this. And when you eat, you die. There's only one answer. Nothing. There's nothing greater than God. Nothing worse than evil. Poor man has nothing. Rich man wants nothing. Dead man eats nothing. If you eat nothing, you die. Oh, that nothing is the answer. So it dissolved the problem, right? You don't know what is it. So until that particular value is known, until then it's a problem. Once it is known, it is dissolved. The problem doesn't exist. He didn't destroy the problem. It no more exists. Correct? In the same way, the world cannot be destroyed because in the first place, it is not real. It is a mystery. Once you know the value of it, it doesn't exist. It is not real anymore. It appears to be there until this X factor is known. Once the integral is known, it gets dissolved. If it is real, if it is always there, you can never destroy it. Satchet na bhadeta, asatchet na pratiyeta. The world real. If it is real, what is the nature of reality? That which is always there. If the world is real, it can never be destroyed. If it is unreal, it can never be experienced. What is the nature of the world? What is the nature of the world? Do you experience or not? Yes, but not always the same way. So its reality is questioned. It is neither real not unreal. Sannapya sannapya bayatmikano भिन्नाप्य भिन्नात् उभयात्मिकानो सांगाप्य नांगाप्य भयात्मिकानो महाद्भुता. This world is neither real not unreal, neither different not non-different, neither part not the whole. So if it is real, it can never be destroyed. If it is unreal, it can never be experienced. So it is experienced, but not always in the same way. Therefore, it is appearance, mithya, and it can only be dissolved. The way it appears, it gets dissolved. That's why Ramana Maharshi asks, your mind is also that way only. It appears to be there. You question it, it will dissolve. Manasam tu kim margane. If you ask this question, who are you? It will disappear. Manohya vidya bhavavanta heduhu. Shankaracharya says, mind is avidya. Mind is ignorance. Bhavavanta hedu. It's a cause of this bondage. So, world is not destroyed, it is only dissolved, for it is not real, it is an appearance. When we realize this, then you understand that I am not asking question, that is why it is true there. That is why it is appeared to be so real. It is an appearance, or a time being. Drishyanashya swabhavatvat. So, tatas timida gambhiram, once you recognize that reality is something which is of the nature of stillness, just like in the deep sleep state where you have dissolved the world, you remain in that stillness, unknowingly. Only on waking up you recognize, oh, that was a nice state. 51st state of United States. There. Where I am the ruler. I'm the governor, I am the mayor, I am everybody, me only. Nobody else is there. I am the soul, my own state. Stimida gambhiram, that state of stillness, na tejo na tamaha tad. Na tejaha na tamastatam. There was no light or darkness. It is neither dark nor light. Neither ignorance nor knowledge. It is awareness. See? Awareness is that which is neither knowledge nor ignorance. Why? It knows both. Just like the eyes knows light and darkness. Similarly, that stage is where it is neutral. Neither light nor darkness. Neither ignorance nor knowledge. That's why it says, na tejaha, na tamaha tatam. There's no spread of light or darkness. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, jnana, he says, what is the nature of that reality? That which is other than knowledge and ignorance. Jnana varjita ajnana hina sat. Jnanam asti kim jnatumantaram. Jnana varjita, without knowledge. Ajnana hina chet. That consciousness is neither ignorance nor knowledge. Jnanam asti kim. Is there anything to be known? Jnatumantaram, after it is known. After the awareness is known, is there any knowledge to be gained anymore? Because knowledge is gained only when there is ignorance. Neither ignorance is there nor knowledge is there then. Soul is male or female? dark or white, short or small, short or tall. The soul by itself does not have any of these thick qualities. Because it is timida gambiram, it is still, it is of the nature of neutrality. That self which is of the nature of neither darkness nor light, neither ignorance nor knowledge, anakyam, cannot be named. Anabhyaktam, unmanifest. Sat kinchit avashishyate, it is there. So, in the dissolution of the world, that reality remains neutral, unaffected. That needs to be realized. That is the nature of freedom, that's the nature of reality. So, Swamiji, it's a long way to go. Yes? Long way to go. In what sense? It is far away for those who don't try. Yadduram, tadduram, tadantikam. That is far away for a person who doesn't want to attempt. It is so close to a person who already knows it. It's a question of time. Tadejati, tadna ejati, taddure, tadu antike, tadantarasya sarvasya. It is within all of us. Tadu sarvasyasya bhakyataha, outside also. So it is that which is to be realized, which is neither ignorance nor knowledge, neither light nor darkness. It is not male nor female. It is neither short nor tall. It is not. No, it is never born. It is never dying. So this anakyam, it cannot be described or named as this. Anabhavyaktam, it cannot be explained as manifest entity. Sat kinchit avashishyati. It is there. Jati niti kula gotra durakam nama rupa guna dosha varjitam deshakala vishayadi vartayat brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. None of these conditions with which we live, jati, niti, kula, gotra, name, form, caste, color, creed, culture, religion, belief, faith, tall, short, rich, poor, intelligent, unintelligent, idiot, brainy, all those things. None of this matter. What a freedom. Such a freedom, where none of these so-called parameters apply to you. Freedom is that where standing on which you do not discriminate the world based upon any of this. That's why Mahatmas do not ever judge anybody. Because there's nothing to judge. Is it not Christ also? Judge not. How do you raise to yourself to that state where you do not anymore think based upon richness or poverty or caste, color, creed, religion, faith? And none of these belong to that. Such an individual, he reaches the neutral state of stillness. Sthimita Gambhiram, that word is to be underlined. That's mighty stillness. So, Sthimita Gambhiram, na tejo, na tamastatam. It is not spread by neither darkness nor light. Anakyam, anabhivyaktam, sat kinchit avashishyati. That is the reality. And this is referred with many, many names, even though anakyam, it cannot be named. But what to do? How do we not, refer to it? Because when you want to indicate that, we need to use names. What's your name before you are born? Nowadays, they give the name even before the even conception itself. But what was your name before you were born? Nameless entity. The name is only for reference. That's why we are even again and again change the name. The moment you start studying one name and then after that you study finish another name and then you become sannyas another name. We get fed up with names. Chalo, abhi ye name le liya. When citizenship comes, another name you can have. Right? You can change your name anytime you want. Which is you? It's only a reference, right? So in some traditions, after the girl get married, then she is given another name. Correct? Google Kumari. You know about Google Kumari, right? You don't know about that? I told last time. Didn't I tell? One man gave the name Google Kumari to his wife after she got married. So somebody asked, Google Kumari? Why? एक प्रश्न पूछे तो 10 उत्तर देती है. If I ask one question, she gives 10 different answers. So that's why he gave the name Google Kumari. Google, because you put one question. Now, which one is I have to go? Everything looks too similar. Then you press another. You can change the name anytime you want. It's only legal papers you have to sign and change. What is your name? What is in the name? You can give any name you want. So this reality is given, referred as many names, even though it has no particular name. What are the names? Ritam Atma Param Brahma Satyamityadika Budaihi Kalpita Vyavaharartham Tasya Sanya Mahatmanah Tasya Mahatmanah Sanya, that of the great soul, Mahatmanah, Sanya, name, Kalpita, or just imagined, Vyavaharartham, for the transactional purpose, who? Budaihi, by the men of wisdom. What are the names? Rutam, Satyam, Atma, Parabrahma, Ityadika. It is referred as truth, reality, absolute. All these names, Brahman, Atman. What is his name, really? No name. Some people keep the name and their character is just the opposite. Name, Smita Bhashini. What she speaks is so terrible. All the time. The name is given smiling and cheerful talker. Smita, never she would ever smile in her life. Name is Smita. Dhanapal, beggar. His name is protector of wealth. He never has any money anytime in his life. So the name has nothing to do with the actual person's character. When my students, when they're studying, at the end of the course, we have to give them name when they change to become brahmachari. So I purposely give the name which they should become. One boy was there. Whenever I ask him to sing a song, he always sing a very sad song. I gave him Santosh. Because he never has seen any time laughingly, joyfully singing anything. Another brahmachari was there. When I was studying, he was a co-student. And he was very fond of dividing the world, anything into three. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. When he was saying, is it Sattvic food, Rajasic or Tamasic? Is the person Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic? Even the water he will question. So Guruji gave him name, Gunatit. Go beyond these three. So your name should indicate what you should become. But we don't attempt to do that. Nityananda, always unhappy. Then what will you do with him? Anyway, so these names are given only for the sake of transaction. Vyavaharartham kalpitaha. Kalpita vyavaharartham tasya sajna mahatmanah. Tasya mahatmanah, of that great thing. Ridam, Satyam, Param, Brahma, Satyam, all these. Ridam, Atma, Kalpita. Budaihi. So, what is its nature when we realize all these names are all just mere for reference? There's no particular reality. That's why it is referred as that always. Tat, that. Tat tvam asi. You are that. Which? That. Which is that? Not reality. The moment you want to refer it as the name, then you already confine it to something. So that is why it is said, what is the nature of Atman? Yachapnod yadadatte yadatti vashayaniha yachasya santato bhavo tasmat atmedi kirtyate. Is in Shivapuran that is said, Linga Puran. Yachapnoti, because of which everything is obtained. Yadadatte, that which provides for. Yadatti, it consumes. Vashayaniha, everything here. From which everything has come, because of which everything remains, into which everything goes. Yachasya santato bhavaha, because of which everything seemed to be existing. Tasmad atmeti kirtyate, that is called Atman. So, it is that reality which is unchanging. See, it is, in the Puranic stories, it is referred in such a way so that it is easily comprehensible. The Lord Vishnu lying on this ocean of Milky Ocean, lying there, even as the whole world has become dissolved, he remains. What remains in you as reality, it never ever changes. In the past, in the present, in the future. There is no mortality for it. It is eternal existence. That and that alone is free. Everything else is changing. Satata bhuta evatma swayam anya ivollasan jivatam upayadiva mananat stulatam gataha. So, if I am that reality which is never changing, one single still consciousness, how did I become this miserable entity? What is the cause? Who is the cause? Who did it? Who moved my cheese? Like who moved my cheese? Another book is coming. Who made me this miserable entity? My dear sir, yourself. We don't like that answer. Me? Yes. Sa tata bhuta atma, that atma, sa atma, tata bhuta heva, that alone it is. Swayam anyah iva ullasan. Self-forgetfulness. Thinks itself to be something else. Swayam anyah. Thinking oneself to be something else. Iva ullasan, moving about, thinking like that. Jivatam upayati. He gains this jivatva. Mananat stulatam gataha. By thinking, he becomes gross. It is self-forgetfulness. See, we don't want to accept the mistake is ours, right? You go to the doctor and he says, I have such a stomach pain. What should I do? You ate wrong things. How dare you say that? Doctor want to put you in a corner and that is the reality. Doctor did not cause you the stomach ache. You did not eat the right thing. Do you accept or not?
Even if you don't accept, that is a fact. In the same way, Vedanta says, no one is the problem because of which you are what you are. You are the only one. That's why not many people like this Vedanta, you know. Yes, everybody wants somebody to be blamed. I think God has created me like this. Or the society did this. My parents did that. My brother did it. My neighbor did it. This is no, you did it. We don't want to take that blame. So here it is says, you forgetting your nature, thinking yourself to be something else. That is the problem. In your dream, when you are suffering, who is the cause? I created my own illusory world and then I am suffering out of it. Can anyone in the world can be a cause for that? So therefore, I have forgotten myself to who I am, and because of the self-forgetfulness, because of the delusion that I have got into, and I am seeing myself as this body. This mind, this body, this thought, this emotion, this feeling, this limitation. So one has to come out of one's own self-created notions about oneself. I don't know. I am useless. I am good for nothing. If somebody constantly says this, how will you make them come out of it? Psychiatrists? How many psychiatrists are here? Batao na aap. How do you make them come out of it? Good for nothing. Huh? Therapy. What therapy you can say? No, you are not. You are good. You are fine. You are better. One fellow thought he is a rat. I told you about that. One fellow thought he is a rat. And whenever a cat appeared, he just went under that cot. Cat will kill me and eat me. And his wife said, you are not a cat, you are a man. No, I am a rat. But no. See, make that cat go, get out of this place. I am very afraid of this. So she went to therapy. Took him to a doctor. The doctor said, what can be done? He thinks he's a rat. What will you do? He has to think that he's a man. Oh, okay. He put him in a room, in a small room, where constantly it was saying, you are a man, you are a man, you are a man. Repeat, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. Went on 24 hours. He came out, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. Because that's what he is listening. The wife came, I am a man, I am a man, I am a man. Oh, so now it changed. He put him in the car, gave the money to the psychiatrist, went home. As soon as he opened the door, they had a cat as a pet. Wow, he went again under the bed. You said you are a man. Yes, I know. But does the cat know that? You are a man. It should be your own personal conviction. It is not for the world to acknowledge that. So if you think that I am useless, I am good for nothing. See, then, who else can help? If you have caught into that kind of a delusion. Similarly, I think this is me and this is a trouble and I am such a miserable, useless entity and I am subject to death. And if I go on thinking like that, I can never have a single day, a single moment of happiness. Who doesn't die? If I keep thinking, I will die, I will die, I will die, I will die. You will die now itself. In your mind, you are already dead. Is it not true? I'll get old, I'll get old, I'll get old. You keep on thinking about that. Will it stop getting old? No. Will that add any happiness to the present moment? It is a fact that we all get old, but you don't need to keep on thinking about it. Oh, this day will end. This day will end. Already 10 o'clock. Already 10. Eh? Then when are you going to live? Is it not that forgetfulness is necessary? And I know that I am going to die. I know that I am getting old. I know that the day is going to end. But you don't need to pay attention to that because that is eventually is going to happen. Nobody can stop it. But look at what is real. This forgetting my reality and taking something else to be real and then suffering that is called jivatva. It may look funny to you if somebody says, oh, it's already almost half a day is over. I don't know what I've done. Do you think I'm exaggerating? This is what we are living. Body is there, mind is there, emotions are there, thoughts are there, these are there. But why do you pay attention to that, give your reality to that? Then what is real? What is real? I am. Independent of all these things, I am. I am pure awareness, unaffected by all these things. This is not in substitution of what you have been thinking. This is real. All others are false. What we have done, we think others are true and this is false. This is merely a, what do you call me? Oh, you are brainwashing everybody. If there is a brain only, I can wash, my dear. We are not brainwashing in Vedanta. We are showing what is right. We have been brainwashed by our world and ourselves. That is why it says, Jivatam upayati manana stulatam gata. Because of one's own wrong thinking, one has become gross. That is real brainwashing. Is it not in the, when you open the TV and they say, you need this, you need this, you need this. Constantly they are brainwashing you. Vacation. You need to go here. Royal Caribbean. You do this. You buy this pizza. You buy this watch. You buy this car. Oh, what are they trying to do? Brainwashing you. Maybe without even we knowing it. They are constantly saying, you need it. You need it. iPhone 5, iPhone 5S. So we are being brainwashed by the world constantly and giving reality to this which is not. And we think when we talk about the real, it looks that is brainwashing. It is said that one person suddenly when he was away in some other town and he came back to his town and he found a long queue in one particular house just opposite to him, his house. He saw, what is that? Why people are lining up? There was a board. It says, here is a man who can cry like a pig. Like a pig-like sound he makes. Entry fee $1. To see how he cries like a pig. A lot of people pay $1 and then go and look at him, crying like a pig. So he thought, this fellow is making money out of nothing. So in this next day, he put a board. Here is a real pig. He really kept a pig. Nobody came. Because pig everybody has seen, but one who acts like a pig, nobody has seen. Nobody wants reality. Everybody wants to fall for the false. A real pig. Nobody wants to see that. This is like somebody acting like a pig. Everybody goes for that. That is called Maya. You see? What is not there, somebody wants to see. What is there, nobody wants to see. So, manana sthulatam gata. By thinking, mistakenly thinking oneself to be this, jivatam upayati. He goes to become a jiva. So, that still pure awareness itself, mistaking itself to be something else. Anyaha, swayam anyaha ullasante. Jiva ullasan. Playing about, thinking about like one to be something else. That. Mano bhavati bhutatma taranga iva varidehe teneyam indrajala jalasri jagati pravitanyate. Now, what is that which makes us think that this is me, mind? Mano bhavati bhutatma. Like what? Taranga iva varitehe. Like in the ocean, there are waves. What is the reality of the wave? What is a wave? Water. Can there be wave without water? Water is wave and it's nothing but from the top to bottom only water. There's nothing else. But it has an individual identity. You see? Big wave, small wave, guru wave, shishya wave. So it's a wave. Wave is nothing but the content of wave is nothing but water. But it has an identity because of that, appearance there. So that is why Swami Vivekananda, when he was sitting there, facing that Indian Ocean there in that Kanyakumari rock, and he was sitting there, he saw the vast ocean. And in that ocean, from a very remote part, there was a little disturbance because of the wind. That the wind has created some disturbance. And it has taken momentum. And then there is a huge wave and comes and hits on the rocks. He says, this is what is called mind. What is mind? It's a momentum of consciousness. It's a movement of consciousness. Because some little disturbance in the consciousness, it has started. And it has taken a momentum and it has become such a huge wave. So also our thoughts. It is a moment of disturbance in the consciousness which creates the so-called thoughts. When we inquire the reality of a thought or a mind, what is it? Manasam Kim. What is this mind? It's nothing but disturbed consciousness, fragmented awareness. When the awareness is a whole, there is no issue. When the awareness is fragmented, disturbed, mind. Mana eva bhutatma taranga iva varidehe. In the water or the ocean, just like the waves, so also in the ocean of consciousness, it is just a disturbance. Tena ayam indra jala shrihi, because of which alone this illusory appearance of the world. Jagati pravidanyate, this world is spread. Manokya vidyana bhavabandha hetuhu, nahyasya vidya manasyo vidirikta, manokya vidya bhavabandha hetuhu. Tasmin vinashte sakalam vinashtam, vijrumbite smin sakalam vijrumbate. Manonashte sakalam nashtam. Tat vijrumbite sakalam vijrumbati. When the mind is not there, nothing is there. But the mind is there, everything is coming back. What do you mean? Mindless become? So mind, when it is given reality, the whole world becomes. Thought given reality, whatever thought presents is also reality. Oh, he said this, I'm so unhappy. What? The thought. Once you become aware that this thought itself is not real, its content is also unreal. Now, what are the thoughts going on in your mind? When does Swamiji finish? I wanted some tea or coffee. He's going on and on and on. I said yesterday, he said 9 to 10. Why is he extending another 15 minutes now? Does he not have watch? So there are thoughts coming into your mind. But if you give reality, you become restless. Sometimes you do this also. I think it stopped. There was one person, very interesting, I stayed with some years back. Very particular about timing. Of course, you have to be very particular about going to a place in time, etc. But I know it's only 10 minutes drive from his house to the place where I was to give lecture. So I was getting ready, but he became restless. It was 10:30, I was supposed to be there. At 10 o'clock onwards, he became restless. So I was inside my room and Swamiji, shall we go? I said, wait, I'm coming. After some 2 minutes, Swamiji, I said, hey, wait, I'm getting ready. After 3 minutes, Swamiji, I said, okay, you go. Okay, I'm going. I said, you go what? If you told me, what are you going to do there? You go and give a lecture, go ahead. When your thought becomes so, you become so restless, you know. See, small children, when they do not know how to stop thinking, right? Or when they, why? Because that concept that this is only a thought and I can just see it as different from me, that itself is not there. Not only children, many of the elders also have the same problem. They just cannot see themselves independent of thought that arises in their mind. Once the thought has come, it has to be, fulfilled. Is it not that is the cause of all our addictions? Once the thought has come, why not you so independent of that? It's not me. I can choose to have it or not to have it. But we are not able to see ourselves independent. That's what he says. Mano bhavati bhutatma. That is nothing but the mind which is dominates here. So when you go and stand in front of the very quiet ocean, most complete stillness, maja nahi hai. Waves have to be there. They don't even enjoy that. The waves. It's ocean. Quiet. No waves at all. But if you start liking that, many times when I go for any trip except in the lake and I go to the middle of the lake and stop there. And even that boat, slowly, still. That is the stillness of consciousness. Deep, still. Because at the banks of the river or the ocean, the river banks or the shores of the ocean, it's all waves all the time. We live in the shores of the ocean, not in the depth. Once you go to the depth of the ocean, it is a deep, quiet stillness. So, mano bhavati bhutatma tharanga iva varidehe. Tena iyam indrajala shri. Because of that alone, iyam, this indrajala shri, all this spread of illusion, jagati pravitanyate, the whole world spreads. So it is the choice that we have to go deep into ourselves to seek that stillness, which is not another thought. It is undisturbed consciousness. The moment consciousness gets disturbed, it becomes like a waves of thoughts. That's why in the street,